Alright, so my objective is to show how to do addition with mixed numbers. So the problem is 5 and 1/11 plus 2 and 1/2. And so you can see we have mixed denominators there. They're not common. I shouldn't say, well, they're not common. So the first thing we're going to have to do is we're going to have to find a common denominator. So what we're going to do is a common denominator of 2 and 11, of course, would be times 11. 2 times 11, or 11 times 2. So 2 times 11 would be 22. Would be down here. And 2 times 11 over here would be 22. Now we have a common denominator for our bottom, for our denominator there. It is now common. All right, the next thing we will do is we will then remember a rule that we have to do whatever we do to the denominator, we also need to do to the denominator. So we change the bottom number, we have to change the top number. So if we remember our problem, we had 22 down here, and this was times 2. So we're going to have to do times 2 up here. And our original problem was 5 and, what was it? 5 and 1/11 plus 2 and 1/2. So we are going to have to do the times over here. So 2 times 1 is going to be now 2, and then we're going to be adding so 1 times 2 times. Did I do this wrong? Oh, it was times 11 over here. So this would be 11 times 1 would be 11 over here. So now our fractions look like, instead of 1/11, it's 2/22. Instead of 1/2, it's 11/22. And then we add the two numbers. So the last thing that we're going to do is rewrite the problem as 5, 2/22, and adding 2 and 11/22. So we have the whole numbers in there now, and of course we know 5 and 2 is 7, 2 and 11 makes 13/22. And so the final thing that we do is, can we reduce this to a smaller fraction? And we cannot. So this is now the answer to that question of what is 5 and 1/11 plus 2 1/2. The answer is 7 and 13/22. 13/22. It's a fraction. Okay. The next thing we will do is we're going to subtract mixed numbers. So I'll go on to the next problem. Subtracting mixed numbers. I'm going to have to remember that rule again. We will do 4 and 1/3 minus 3 and 3/5. And so the first thing we need to do again is we need to find a common denominator of 3 and 5. So common denominator would be 15. If you have 3 times 5, it equals 15, and 5 times 3 equals 15. It's common denominator. Okay, so second thing that we do now is, what is this? We need to do what we did to the bottom, we do to the top, right? So we had 1/3 here, 4 and 1/3, and we have the 3 and 3/5. Okay, and so we times 5 over here, so we're going to have to times 5 right here. So 5 times 1 is going to be 5/15, because we times the 5 over here to get the 15. So 5 and 5/15, and then we're going to again have to come over here and do exactly the same thing, whatever we did here, to get 15 here, which was 3 times 5 made 15, so we need to do the times 3 over here with this number, 3 times 3, and that answer is 9. So now our fractions have common denominators, and these are correct, so that we can continue with this problem of subtracting. And now we'll just bring down the 4 and the 3, but we see a problem here. We have a 5 here and a 9 here, so this is just not going to work. We're going to have to do something about that. So what we need to do next, because we had a fraction that was too large to subtract from a smaller fraction, we're going to have to borrow. So when we borrow, how does that look? We have to borrow from a whole number. So if we remember correctly what the number that we had 4 and 5/15 over here, and we were subtracting 3 and 9/15 out of there, which that can't happen, so we're going to have to borrow. We're going to have to make this 5 larger. And how we do that is we come over and we take 1 away, and we know a 1 here is equivalent to 15 over 15, so that makes a 1. So what we're going to do, because we want to keep this 15 over here, so now we have 15, that value of 15 right here, over here, plus 5, this 5, which equals 20. So we have 20 over 15. So we have, in fact, 3 and 20 over 15, and then we will do the final subtraction of 3 from 3 and 9/15, and our answer when we take 9 away from 20 is 11/15, and 3 away from 3 is 0. So our answer is 11/15. And that's the answer. Cannot reduce that any smaller, so there it is. Thank you very much.